Namor the Submariner, issue number 1. So Cantwell has kind of made a name for himself at Marvel, doing like the egotistical characters and bringing them down a peg. It started with Doctor Doom, which is a great 10-issue miniseries, and then Iron Man is currently wrapping up, and it's going to stop at issue 25. So Namor makes sense. And of course, Namor is going to be appearing in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, so brand synergy. But this is the kind of brand synergy I really like, where it's like, let's actually do a character story and not just like have a book because it's going to be close to the movie. We're going to try something different with Namor. And that's what this book is. It is fascinating. Now, I'm not going to say it was the best first issue Cantwell has done in these stories, but it's good. You know, there's nothing about this I disliked. I just think it's going to build up to something better, and that's kind of cool. Where a first issue can just get you excited for what's coming next. It also just kind of like plays with other characters that I like the idea of Cantwell writing, and I think that's very exciting. So this book actually takes place 100 years in the future, so the world has changed a lot. The book opens up with the Statue of Liberty underwater. Atlantis is now the dominant force of the world, okay? They've taken everything over. A lot of people are in certain situations, which we'll get into. The book opens up with like a couple of just like traitors, or like, not traitors in the sense like, oh, they're going against, you know, like their kingdom, but traitors like, oh, they're selling certain things. These two guys just steal a couple of artifacts from, you know, like Namor's people, and he accosts them on shore, and he's like, I don't even care what you took. You took the fuel cubes, that's fine. But if you come back in the water, I'm gonna kill you. And I'm like, that's kind of fun. And then we get some exposition about what happened. So the world was just crazy. The Kree did something about it. All of the heroes went to space to go fight the Kree, except for a select few, which we'll get into. And then Atlantis was like, well, there's nobody here to protect them. The rising tides are coming. We're now the dominant force of Earth. And I'm like, okay. It is pretty naturalistic, where it's not like Atlantis like took over. It's like, well, the tides have turned in our favor, so I guess this is the new domain. And that's what happened. So then we just follow Namor for a bit as he's traveling through his city, just looking at everything. He stepped away from being king, and he gave the position to his cousin, Namoretta, and she is also going to be appearing in the Wakanda Forever film, so I kind of enjoy the idea that she is also in this book. That's kind of fun. So they're just kind of talking for a bit, and the idea she is presenting to Namor is like, you know, you've kind of become like a lost wanderer looking around the places. You're spending a lot more time on land and talking to the people that live in the dry zone. One might say you're becoming nostalgic. You know, you're looking for that purpose you don't have anymore. Reminiscing on the old days. And Namor's like, oh, that's stupid. I'm just looking at what's coming for like the harder times we're about to endure. You know, trying to keep some metaphorical peace between the world. And it's pretty nice. We cut to a place called the Dry Man's Land, which is the oxygenated settlement zone, which is in Atlantis. So it's a place in Atlantis where you can breathe air. These two guys are fighting over some morsel of food, or it might be a torch. I think it's a torch now. They say, like, give me the torch. Yeah, so it's cold down there. They want to stay warm. And this gloved hand stops one of the other men from beating the other one. And it's a red glove, and there's a white sleeve, and we see that it is Steve Rogers, Captain America. An old, grizzled man, because, again, this is 100 years in the future. He's got a beard, he's got a jacket with, like, a nice fur outline on it that matches his design. And he's like, now, you can come eat with me and apologize to this man you were attacking. And that's how we stay together, guys. Friendliness. It's kind of fun. So, Namor shows up with a scientist called Eudora, and they're just looking around at some stuff, and it's pretty much just these two old friends, because, again, I don't know if it's, like, overlooked that much, and it's probably not going to be explored in Wakanda Forever, but Namor and Captain America are old friends. They both fought in the World War with each other as invaders. They have a piece of connection that they share. So they drop a little bit of exposition. We see that there's like 20,000 folks in the dry lands here, and there's like a few 100,000 more still on land. And Steve's like, you know, it could go a long way to like broker peace between the above people and the below people. If you were to come on shore and just kind of experience something going on right now, we just had a birth, or there's a birth about to happen, the first human birth in like 2 years, a sign is a miracle. And if, Namor came to shore and maybe talked to the person in charge up on the surface, it could lead to further peace between our people. And we see that Steve is like, we can talk to Cage. And you're like, Cage? Cage, is that a specific name we should be focused on? Yes, it is, because we head to the surface world. Steve is trying to act as like negotiator. We are in New York City. It is a barren wasteland of nothing good going from it. And we see a man with a yellow cloak and a couple of things around his wrist. You're like, oh, it's Luke Cage. And I'm like, okay, I can understand Namor and Steve being alive. I guess I could get Luke Cage being alive because his skin is unbreakable, and I guess you could play it a certain way where that does play into his aging, so I can understand it. And the thing is, Cantwell knows how to write all of these characters. He knows how to write Doctor Doom. He knows how to write Tony Stark. He knows how to write a good Captain America. He really understands Namor, and Namor's kind of just a little bit off than the Namor we know in this because he's not as aggressive, which makes sense because of the future. But I think he really gets Luke Cage as well, because Luke Cage just instantly goes to, you're a piece of shit, Namor. Your people suck. What are you doing here? We're in a terrible land. You guys just took over and invaded, you colonizing pieces of shit. And you know what makes it worse? You want to come here for a miracle, make things work. But I held a newborn in my arms for 3 whole minutes before the girl stopped breathing, and her mother died too. She never even opened her eyes. It's all shit. The girl died. Kind of like a Children of Men thing, which I like to see. But because Luke Cage hit Namor, his Atlantean folks are like, we should attack, right? And then Luke Cage's people are like, they're going to attack us. We should attack, right? They get into a huge frenzy. Everybody starts killing everybody. You see that Namor and Steve are trying to get it to stop, but nobody is standing down. It is violent. It is a massacre. Everybody is attacking one another. Nothing is going well. Things are escalating to the extreme. It's a cold, desolate planet, but then Namor, while he's pinned on the ground, sees a spark in the sky. He tells everyone to stop. Wait. There is a torch in the sky in the shape of a human. Methinks there could be a human torch in the sky. And that is where the book ends. And I liked it. I don't know if I loved the book. I think it's very fun. The idea of seeing a Namor kind of like yearning for the better days of his life is kind of interesting. A future where he is kind of now like the humbled one is a very fascinating area to explore. Defending 2 sides of people he is connected to intrinsically. I like that. And a beautiful capper where like a cold world might have its human torch come back. I can support that. I can support that a lot. Very fun. Very cool. I'm digging it, man. I am digging it. Very cool. A great first issue to this run. Very fun. So, Namor the Submariner issue number 1, I am going to give a 7 out of 10. Now, thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.